So I was on the way home. I was riding the Green Line train. I love taking the train, love taking the bus. Sometimes I just like walking because when you're out there in the public, man, you see just some off the wall crazy things. I live in Chicago. Man, you see some off the wall stuff. Like you're just out there. You know, I'll hear people on the phone discussing killing people, sexually assaulting people, saying how they want to set people up for crimes, how they want to rob people, just all kind of crazy stuff. And these people will sit up in public and discuss, the crimes they plan on committing, or they'll talk about stuff they actually did that was illegal, or they'll commit crimes in front of you. It's just crazy. I wish I had a cell phone when I was a teenager. The stuff that I could have recorded, you wouldn't even believe. But anyways, long story short, so I didn't get to see the entire situation. I only saw bits and pieces of it. Um, so apparently there was a young black woman, and she got into a fight with with another man on one of the different train cars. I don't know this for a fact, but I heard that the guy was her boyfriend. So apparently they got into an argument about something. She popped the dude. He retaliated, and she got the worst of it. So she comes and sits on our train car. And she sat across from an older black woman, maybe early 40s. And she told the older black woman, the teenage girl told her, "What the F you looking at? Look at me again and I will hit you in your effing face," right? So I guess the older black chick looked at her again, and hey, she carried through with her threat. The teenage girl got up there and punched the older black woman, not once, but twice in her face. So the older black woman wasn't having this. She pulled out a knife and cut her. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get to see the entire damage. Like I said, it was I was at the other end of the train car. So I didn't really, like I said, I only got to see bits and pieces of it. I know she cut the teenage girl. They stopped the train, and the teenage girl got off the train. So she was on the, she was on the platform, the elevated platform, and they were arguing with the older black woman, and a bunch of people would not let this older black woman leave off the train cars. It was a bunch of men, teenage boys, and some older black women. So they told her, they were accusing her, like, "Hey, you were wrong. You should have did that." And the interesting thing is, older black woman said, "Hey, look, I didn't do anything. Okay, she attacked me. Okay, she punched me in the face. She punched me in the face twice." And they were like, "Oh, well, we didn't see her do that. We just saw you." Isn't it interesting how many times you have somebody who's the aggressor that magically people never see the aggressor? They don't. Am I the only person that finds that funny? You can have a crowd of people around you and they only magically see you retaliating or defending yourself. They never see the person who's the aggressor. Somehow magically they don't see them. But the older black woman told her, "Look, this chick hit me twice. I didn't do anything to her. Okay, you can't punch nobody in the face because they glanced at you." And she said, "Look, she hit me twice. Not one of y'all got up and did anything. But the minute I did something to her, defended myself, all y'all want to run up here. Oh, no, 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 stop. No, you wrong." And they were telling her, "Nah, you wrong for that. You wrong for that." And it was funny to me because the other it was only like, it was basically some men, some teenage boys, and it was like maybe other two black women who were stopping her from leaving, and there was one other black woman who looked like she was about her early 40s, you know, late 30s, and she was telling her, "Well, she's a teenager. You shouldn't be fighting her anyways. You were wrong for that." And they were all telling her, "You wrong, no, you wrong." But man, I'm gonna say something here. I don't think that woman was wrong. Okay, what I've noticed in this society is there's this thing, man, where people seem to actually support the aggressor. Yes, you heard me. They take up for the person who's the aggressor, not the person who defends themselves. And I notice a lot of time it depends on the aggressor status. So what I mean by that is this, okay? If the person doing the attacking is a woman, a teenager, or a certain race or whatever, people will excuse anything they do. Um, and this situation was weird because normally when people excuse somebody attacking somebody else, a lot of times it'll be a woman attacking a man because apparently men are we some magical tanks. We can't get hurt. We're like all of us walking around with an S under our chest like Superman or something. We can't get hurt, which is not the truth because you have women who kill men. You've had women. You can go look it up online. There are stories of women actually barehanded beating men in fights, killing dudes, and women are actually more likely to use a weapon in a fight between a man and a woman. But anyways, this situation was kind of interesting because it was two females, okay? But because one of them was younger, they wanted to excuse her wrongdoing. I feel like that's wrong, dude. I've had people get angry at me about that over the years. I don't feel because you're a woman or a teenager or you're a certain skin color or complexion, whatever, that you have the right to go around assaulting and attacking people. No, that teenager was the one who was wrong. Okay, this woman, this 40-year-old woman, was not bothering her. She was not invading her personal space. She didn't make any threats to her. Okay, then they telling her, "Well, you was wrong for fighting her." Or I hate to break this to you, man, but people don't always give you the option whether to fight them or not. Listen, if somebody attacks you, they don't say, "Hey, um, may I please attack you? Are you free right now? Are you doing something? Because I don't want to take up your time. If you're just reading a book or you're busy right now, I'll come up. We can schedule a time and I can attack you next week or something. You don't get to choose your attacker, man. Um, that was crazy to me. Telling her, well, you should have been fighting her anyway. So what was she supposed to do? Just sit up there and let the teenage girl punch her in the face? Bow, boo, bow, ooh, boo. I mean, come on, man. What's going on with society here that we always want to side with the person who's in the wrong? And I notice a lot of us do that. It's always some excuse. Oh, well, that person's younger than you. Okay, let me tell you something. There are teenagers who are bigger and stronger than me. You got teenagers, dude, who lift weights, martial arts, whatever. They walk around with weapons on them. Because somebody's 15 or 16 and you're 30 does not automatically mean you're going to win every fight. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're a tank or bullets bounce off you. You can be a teenager can injure or kill an adult. Okay, and a teenager don't have legal right to attack somebody who's older than them. That's not how it works. That's not actually even the law, which is crazy. Okay, just like a woman, it is against the law for a woman to physically assault a man. Okay, but I realize what the issue is, man. You have a lot of people who have their sacred cows. Yes, you hear me. Um, they care about teenagers, which I care about young people too. That doesn't mean they get a free pass to assault people, um, sexually assault people, physically assault you, rob you, or beat you up. Okay, I care about women. I have some people who think I hate women who told me that because I want to excuse everything women do. Now, I love women, dude, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you if a woman walks up there and punches a man in the face that that's right. Okay, if a woman spits in a man's face or robs him or does something or goes and steals his car, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, that's okay because she's a woman. No, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? She's engaging in illegal behavior, and hey, whatever the consequences come from that. Okay, same thing with a teenager. I'm not out here, man, advocating for people to beat up teenagers or beat up women or assault people or any type of racial group or whatever. I don't care if you need black, white, uh, male, female, gay, straight, whatever. Whatever you into. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. Okay, but if you go out there and you put your hands on people, you're assaulting people or trying to oppress any other people or abuse people, man, it's consequences for that. You just can't go out there and do whatever you want. But like I said, you got people who, whenever there's someone from a particular group that they care about, they want to reframe the whole situation. They want to make that person the victim. Dude, you can't be the victim and the victimizer at the same time. Okay, if a teenage boy or teenage girl walks up there and punches and kicks an older adult in the face, that person's not the victim. Okay, if that older adult was sitting there not doing anything to them, they're not the victim. If a woman is having a discussion with a man and she don't like what he says, but he's not threatening her or invading her personal space, and she just walks up there and starts punching and kicking him, and he retaliates, she's not the victim, dude. Okay, and I don't care what, like I say, I don't care what group this person's from. I've seen people do this, excuse certain people who are the aggressor based on the sex, the age, the race. Okay, hey, they got money, whatever, whatever thing that they care about. Okay, but it's crazy, Like I said, we have people who actually want to make the aggressor the victim because that person falls into a particular group that they care about. That person is one of their sacred cows. No, man. And this is wrong. And this is something I've seen this happen in society over and over and over again. Um, you don't get to murder somebody, rape somebody, shoot them, stab them, beat them up and rob them because you're a teenager, a woman, or a certain racial group, or a certain economic class. Oh, I care about people who are rich. I love people who got money, so I'm gonna excuse this person who got money. They can go out there and do whatever they want. Nah, it don't work like that, man. We're all human beings. We all have to respect each other. But I've seen this so many times, and I feel like this is honestly, this is wrong. This is a wrong thing, maybe even an ungodly thing. I don't know, man. I want to think more about this. But if you think that anything justifies you to oppress another human being, you pulling a Jedi mind trick on yourself. Your actions are wrong. You can't hide behind your status. Just my thoughts.